Like, come on, girls. What are we talking about today? How are we going to make everybody's life better? Because they didn't learn about my name, I'll tell you that. It's like, okay, girls.
Hi, I'm Shannon. I help women navigate the world of business. I'm from New Jersey.
Yeah.
I say water, funny, and coffee, according to my kids.
Oh, it sounds beautiful.
It sounds beautiful?
I love it.
Oh, my God.
Give me more of it, girl. Like, oh.
I have been called bitchy and bossing.
Oh, I'll take it. Yeah. I'm Rhonda. I own a retail store. 2 years in, and I still question my sanity. But ultimately, I love it. One of the biggest things I've learned is kind of navigating the world of business, and that's where Shannon and I come together to talk about.
Figure it all out.
Yep.
Welcome to the Business of Women. I'm here. This is Shannon. I'm here with Rhonda, and of course Daisy's here with us because Daisy, you can never leave. Oh, Maddie, you have to put up a picture of Daisy. Okay. I want to talk because I have very strong opinions on this about tipping.
Oh, yeah, I got some.
First, let me ask you a question.
And we're talking about Google reviews?
Well, yes, we're going to get there.
That might be a cuss word too.
Okay. Right. Do you do that, flip the screen where it asks for the tip and you sign your name?
This is so interesting. When I was online, just online, there was a point of time when on my Shopify, I implemented tipping at checkout because this was a thing during, I think, was it during COVID or something?
It might have been, yes.
And so I'm like, I'm going to do that. I had people tipping me, and this is home decor. And you're like, are you kidding me? This is crazy.
Tipping you
after they purchased
online,
they would tip me. Okay, but
that would annoy the crap out of me.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I'm like, okay, we ain't doing that. I don't want to be perceived as desperate, right? Just because home decor is different than restaurants, coffee shops, it's a no.
And I'm not talking about restaurants. I'm not talking about places where you have a waiter or waitress come and bring you things. I'm talking about every store we go to. I mean, every store I go to now, where I go up to the counter and they give me things at the counter, I'm still asked for a tip. Almost everywhere. Retail, Starbucks, which everybody knows, you know. I do always tip, even when I don't want to, because I'm a woman or I feel bad saying no tip. Here's a story.
I don't tip.
I was in New Jersey. Oh, no. Where was I? Oh, my God. Where was I? Oh, I was in Seaside, Oregon.
Okay.
For 4th of July. And we were staying with my ex-husband and his girlfriend, and me and Rowdy, because we're all one big happy family.
Right,
they have a beach house. And I get up real early in the morning and I work. And so I went down to the bagel store, the one bagel store in Seaside.
Yep.
And there were, I'd say, about 10, 12 people at the house. Maybe a little less, but I wanted to get a dozen bagels, right?
Sure.
So they just opened up, so I walk in and I said, a dozen bagels. And the man said to me, there's a limit of 8 per day. I said, what? I actually thought it was a joke. A dozen bagels, I'm from New Jersey. You'll get a dozen bagels. Throw them in a bag. I don't want you to do anything with them. Just throw your freaking bagels in the bag. I'm taking them home. We have a bunch of people. No, I could only have a limit of 8 per day. Okay? Which I found to be bizarre.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we joked about I was going to go in with a fake mustache later on and get the rest of them, whatever.
That would be
but
great.
then he turned the thing around.
What?
You know, where you pay.
He
and
asked
it had,
for tip.
yes.
What the?
I tipped him $1.
You did not.
I swear I did. But let me ask you this, and this is going to work into Google reviews. I do not feel, and people could agree with me or disagree with me, if you have set up a system where you have a brick and mortar and you are not providing a service, meaning waitressing, that kind of thing, but your customers are buying stuff, taking up to your counter and leaving, I don't think you should ask for a tip.
Right.
Okay. So you don't do that?
I don't.
Okay.
I want
Phenomenal.
to.
Huh?
I want to.
Well,
I want tips.
but the system shouldn't be that your employees, careful, that your employees need that in order to live. It shouldn't be part of their income.
Right, but then, okay, so typically we see people who get tips are earning less than minimum wage or minimum wage, right?
Well, that was traditionally
That
how
was
it
traditional.
That's not how it is now.
But I'm like, okay, hold on a minute here. We're like retail. We're the second hardest industry to make a go of it. So then that means I have to pay my employees more to keep them, retain them, grow. That means I should up the price of my MSRP, but I don't want to do that because I'm up against Amazon, online stores, these apps that you can just scan the image of the item and go, oh, she's $2 more. Well,
But,
what,
Okay. Well, you also are in business to get as many customers in your store as possible
Oh, gosh, this
because
is tough.
percentage-wise, right?
How am I supposed to do
There's a
that?
certain I'm going to tell you right now,
Okay.
a certain percentage buying. Obviously, there's all digital marketing and people walk in. But 82% of people decide where to purchase based upon Google reviews.
Oh,
So the
jeez.
more Google reviews you have and the higher number of between 4 and 5 stars, I'm going to tell you right now, retail is usually, there are some that, if you go below 4.9, nobody's going to go there, like a med spa or something
Yeah.
like that. But retail's in between 4 and 5.
Yeah, generally.
However, a retail store that has 4.5 average stars and 500 Google reviews. Well, psychologically, I'm like, there's a lot of people that go to that store, and that's pretty high. I'm going to go there. So you need to get more Google reviews.
Well, I need more friends then.
No, you don't. This is how you get Google reviews.
Okay.
So you get one of those little standees.
I have one.
Okay. And you put it there.
Doesn't work.
And then it doesn't work. Well, that's not very helpful. And then when you turn your screen around, and this is for everybody there who has their tip screen, all right, you
Yes.
say, we really
Yes.
don't take tips. The best tip you could give us
Right.
would be a Google review.
Okay, no, we
and they scan it while
Right.
you're standing there because you're saying it before they have their packages. They're just checking out. Just so you know, we don't accept tips. But if you had a great experience and scan this, the best tip you could give would be a Google review.
I need to hire you because we talked about this briefly off podcast, and it was such a great idea. So I go back to Aaliyah and I say, here's this great idea because honestly, we could use some more Google reviews.
Everybody can.
5-star Google review. No, we don't want those 2s. If I'm doing 2s,
You're
oh my
always
gosh.
you're gonna get.
But so I'm telling her about it and making it easy, just how you made it sound. And she goes, absolutely not. She goes, if I have to ask people, she goes, it's not going to happen, Mom. I'm not going to ask people to leave a Google review. And I know the QR code's right
You're
there.
not asking them to leave a Google review. You're telling them, and you're making them happy because you're saying, everybody asks for tips. We don't feel comfortable asking for tips.
I think
here.
she just doesn't want to engage with them in that way.
Correct. Well,
Yeah.
then that's a problem.
I know, but I'm kind of part of the problem.
So how you say it, though,
Yeah.
is it's not like, please leave us a Google review. No, that's uncomfortable.
Okay.
But if you say to them, because now you're nobody likes to give tips to everybody and the brother. If you say, listen, I know everybody asks for tips. We don't ask for tips here, but the best tip you could give us would be a Google review. Okay, you're not really asking me for. You
Right.
are, but you're saying it by saying, we get you. We don't like
Yeah.
leaving tips, and we don't think it's right for us to ask tips either, because guarantee you, they went to 5 other stores that day.
Yep.
And they were asked for tips. Now you're going to be the store that they don't. They don't
Right.
have to give you
Right.
their money because it doesn't cost them money to leave a Google review,
No.
but it makes you a shitload of money.
Yeah, it does.
Because that gets more people in the door.
It does.
Your
Okay.
checkout person has to do that because it only can happen during that transaction, and it has to happen in that way.
Okay.
You're solving their problem. You're relating to them regarding the tip thing,
Yep.
and they're just saying, obviously they've had a good time. They're buying something. They're happy. Okay, I'll scan that and leave you. Click, done. Before they leave the store.
That'd be amazing. I love it.
So it's
brilliant.
how you present it,
Okay.
and So you need to present it just like that, or have your employees listen to this.
Yes.
And it's easy that way.
Yeah.
I'd be delighted to do that for somebody. I'd be like, thank you for not taking more of my money when, you know.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we're not talking about waiters and waitresses and things like that.
Okay.
But yeah, that is, because Google reviews are everything.
They are. They're important. I look at them myself all the time. I'm in a new area, or I'm going to go check out a new store in Oregon or whatever. I pull it up on Google. I look, even if it's brand new and they have 2 reviews, I want to see what people say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
100%.
right. And so when I was coming back east, I was taking an Uber and we're still talking about Google reviews.
Yes.
From Newark, or from Jersey Shore.
Yep.
Fist pump. Here we go. To Newark Airport, right? Both sound very horrible. Both were delightful, actually.
Nice.
And this lovely gentleman who drove the Uber picked me up, and he was from Trinidad and Tobago, but he had been in New Jersey for a little while, and he told me he had opened up in 2017 a salon, and he was a very like a haircutting salon. He was energetic. He was awesome, right? Loved him. Loved talking to him. So we were talking about it. He goes, I opened up this salon, and I was so successful. It was before COVID, you know, the poor man, right?
Right.
And he goes, but you know what really bothered me? So he was very successful, and he couldn't get off this one bad Google review he had. And we're talking 5 years later.
Yep. I know the feeling.
And he said, I had a bad Google review. And I said, okay, well, what happened? He goes, there was a gentleman and his son who, when I opened up, they were some of my first customers, and they came, you know, I guess it was more barbershoppy or whatever, I don't know. They would come in every couple months, and they were great customers of mine, and I loved them. I felt like we were friends.
Yeah.
I said, okay. And he goes, and so one day, the son came in, and he said, can I get a quick haircut? And I said, yes, absolutely, you're next. Sit on down. This gentleman didn't know that there actually was his fault. There was someone on the books for that appointment time for him, and she was just in the restroom. Okay? So she came out, and he said, oh my gosh, it was his fault, not knowing what was going on. And he said to this guy, he goes, I'm so sorry, I can't take you now.
Yep.
You can wait.
Yep.
But I didn't realize I had someone else.
Okay.
It was an honest mistake.
100%.
He thought it was an honest mistake. But let's remember, this man and his father had been coming in for 3 years, and they were the first people, and they were huge fans of his.
Oh, this is painful.
So the next day, there was a scathing review from the son about that, you know, he walked in and he had to get, whatever happened, right?
Yeah.
And this poor man he's like, I don't know why he would do that. Now, from their point of view, the gentleman probably thought, no, I have been supporting you. I've been telling you,
100%.
all my friends, I have been doing this, I've been doing that. You should have taken care of me. Realistically, it was a no-win situation for him because he had someone else.
He was gonna,
right.
Yep.
So I asked him, I said, so what did you do? What did you say? He goes, well, I called up Google and tried to get it taken down. I said, well, they're not going to do that.
No.
He goes, no. And he goes, I just was so upset and I was so angry, and they never came back. And I said, well, what did you say? He goes, well, I didn't respond.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you have to respond. He goes, well, what am I going to say?
I'm so sorry.
That's right. I said,
I lost somebody very important to me.
That's right. Right.
Yeah.
You say our natural inclination is to defend ourselves.
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry I had someone here. You don't do that.
I
never
agree.
Because you could be 100% correct, but it will come across as an excuse.
Yes.
And it will come across as you're not listening to the pain that you've caused me.
Yep.
I was hurt. Now, it could have been maybe he just got in a fight with his wife. You don't know what happened that night.
He might have been going off to a wedding, whatever,
Right.
and you were going to be his savior.
Right. So but he didn't respond. And this is 5 years later. This was driving him crazy.
Yeah, I wished he would have responded.
I know. And so we talked about it. We talked about all different. This is what I did on my way to Newark Airport. The different responses. And he's like, well, I was going to say this. I said, no. You just say, you know what? devastated by this.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it all night. I don't blame you for being upset.
Yes.
That's all you say.
The heartfelt, yeah.
Now, realistically, you want to end it with, please call me, give them your phone number.
Yes.
Please email me. I want to make this right. You never say what you're going to do online.
Gosh, this was great. Yeah.
Ever. Do you say, come in for your next haircut's free?
Okay.
Whatever you are giving is a private conversation,
Okay, this is
not
good to
a
know.
public conversation.
Okay.
But you always, and there are ways, I've had clients that do this, and the reviewer will write back, thank you so much, I so appreciate it. Like you can literally turn them into a raving fan by just being human and not making excuses,
Okay.
and not blaming anything else, not your delivery driver, whatever the reason was. COVID, don't.
I know.
Just be like, you know what? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so do you respond to positive Google reviews?
Absolutely. Every single time. Every
Okay.
single one.
I haven't been at first. I
And
started
don't do
to.
a canned response. Not
Right.
you'll look and you can see Google reviews and they put the same
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
People notice that.
Okay.
Again, people want to be
How quickly
appreciated.
do you need to respond to a Google review?
I would do it within a day or two.
Okay.
Now, if you don't, that's fine. Even if you do it in a week or 2 weeks, it's reminding them that you're there.
Okay.
So if you respond 6 months later,
I'm going to put this on my employee. Hey, this is something we should, because we get notifications when we get a Google review. But me, I'll probably be in the middle of something, and it's going to slip my brain.
and every review needs to be different. It just needs to start with
Okay.
the person's name. Thank
So
you
address
so
them
much, Amy.
Personally.
And then you could go on ChatGPT and say, print out 70 different types of Google review positive responses that sound natural, and have a list and your employees can use them, but always write something different.
Yeah. Well, it's not that hard. So let's do it.
But it's not that hard for you. But some people are like,
Well, I'll
Get
just
nervous.
add that one more thing to my list of things to do. But I think what you're saying, it's really important because it's going to help drive the foot traffic that ultimately is business and retail.
right. And not just for the people reading the Google reviews, for the person you responded
I
to.
know, but I love
They
that
get a
point.
notification. They
Oh, I think it's
appreciate it.
sweet.
Now you have a connection. Now she goes
So
to
we're utilizing Google reviews as if it's a social media platform.
100%. Everything should be
Jeez.
utilized that way.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Okay.
So respond to good Google reviews.
Okay.
Respond to bad Google reviews. But make sure you get Google reviews.
Okay.
There we
I'm
go.
on it. Thank you.